Hi guys, it's Mrs. Tucker. Here is Star Crusher 2 and Day 7 video hints. Alright, Star Crusher 2 number 1. Which expression can be used to find the nth term in the following sequence, where n represents the number's position in the sequence? I hope you guys noticed that your n, your position number, they gave you what numbers in the first position, the third position, the fifth position, the seventh position. They skipped 2, 4, and 6. I personally want to see what 2, 4, and 6 is. So I want to go in and fill in the blanks. If an increase of 2 in your position number gave you an increase of how much right here? Yeah, that's an increase of 4. Then an increase of 1 in your position number should have resulted in an increase of what? Yeah, that should have been an increase of 2. So 3 plus 2 more is 5. There should have been a 5 right there. 5 increased by 2 is 7. 7 increased by 2 is what? Yeah, that should be a 9. 9 increased by 2 is 11. 11 increased by 2 is what? Yep, that's 13. 13 increased by 2 is 15. Okay, so now I know what the change in my y values is. If this was an xy table, the change in my y's is 2. So I told you guys in class what you want to do is take that change in your y's and put them right here. So we're going to make this 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. And then the next thing that I told you guys that I want you to do is take your x values and multiply right here. Multiply by 1, we're going to multiply by 2, multiply by 3, multiply by 4, multiply by 5, multiply by 6, multiply by 7. Now, you may, after you do that, add or subtract an adjustment. So let's check this out. 2 times 1 is 2, but they say the answer is 3. So it looks like my adjustment is adding on 1. 2 times 2 is 4. They say the answer is 5. It looks like my adjustment is 1. I'm going to jump all the way down here. 2 times 7 is 14, but they say the answer is 15. My adjustment is definitely 1. So my equation would be 2 times my n value plus 1, which gives you answer choice B. Now I want to give you guys a second way of working this kind of problem that's not so much work. What you can do is take your n value of 5, plug it in right there. What's 5 plus 2? Well, 5 plus 2 gives you 7. They say the answer is 11. There's no way the answer could be C. Let's take 5 and put it in here. 2 times 5 is 10, but they say the answer is 11. So it can't be that one. 5 put in right here. 5 plus 1 is 6. They say the answer is 11. It can't be that one. 5 put in right here. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 1 more is 11. That's your answer. Now, if you use that method, you need to be careful, because sometimes when you use 1 for your n value, it'll make 2 or 3 of these correct. So if you're only going to pick one number, pick a number other than 1 to try. I would definitely try 2 of them and make sure it works. All right? Number 2, that one right there, I think you can handle that one. They give you this equation for calculating the cost, and they tell you it takes 6.5 hours to make a scarf. I think you can figure out that one. All right. Number 3, which expression can be used to find the nth term in that sequence? This right here, they didn't give you the position number. So your position number n, 6 is in the what position? Yep, that's the first position. 11's in the second. 16's in the third. 21's in the fourth, and 26 is in the fifth position. You need to know this right here in order to work this problem. All right, so pick a number like 3 and plug it in right here, right here, right here, right here, and see which one of those, when you do the math, gives you an answer of 16. And then I would try it again with a different number, maybe 2 or maybe 4. Avoid the number 1. Sometimes 1 works for 2 different equations. All right? Let's look at number 4. Number 4 says, which equation best represents the relationship between x and y in the table? Oh, here again, if you want to do this, you can build a table. You can build your little XY table and work it that way and find out what the change in your y is each time your x increases by 1. Well, it didn't increase by 1, did it? It skipped over 1. It skipped over 9. It skips over 11 before it gets to 12. 8 is 8. If you put in a 10, you get back a 9. If you put in a 12, you get back a 10. What are they skipping here? As you increase by 2 from here to here, it increases by 1 here. So if I only increase this by 1, this would be an increase of how much for that one that's missing? Yeah, it's going to be half of that increase of 1. So the missing number here is 8.5. The missing number here is 9.5. What is the change in your y value? Well, the change in your y value is 0.5. It increases by 0.5 each time. So my little hint to you guys when we actually did this in class was take that change in your y value and put it right here in your process. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, all the way down the line, 0.5, 0.5. And then what did I tell you to do next? Take your x value and put it right next door, and that's what you're going to multiply by. That 0.5 gets multiplied by your x. You know, whoops, not 0.8. Anytime you multiply a number by 0.5, you're taking half of it. Okay? So now take a half of 12 and you get 6. How do you change that into 10? Take a half of 8, you get 4. How do you change that into 8? You got to add 4. Whoops, that's supposed to be a 9. 1/2 of 9 is 4.5. How do you change that into 8.5? Yeah, your adjustment is adding 4. Half of 10 is 5. How do you change that into 9? You're adding 4. You're going to add 4 all the way down the line. This is 6. How do you change it into 10? You add 4. Does that help you find which one of these equations goes with this table? Well, yeah, it's 1/2 times your x value plus 4. 1/2 your x value plus 4 is that one right there. Okay, in order to get credit, I want to see your table. You're going to do the same process, the exact same thing, setting up the table, making sure your x values increase by 1 each time. Look for the change in your y's, multiply that by x and add or subtract an adjustment. You're going to do that on this one. I'm not going to set this one up for you. You're going to do it on your own. Do it on that one. Let me move this over. I'm not used to that over there. And you're also going to do it on number 6. Do the same thing here. Set up your table. Make sure that your x values here are increasing by 1 each time. Find out what the change in your y's are, and then do the whole process thing, just like we've been doing. All right? Let's see, back here. A high-speed train in Europe travels at an average speed of 150 miles per hour. A regular train has an average speed of 60 miles per hour. Over a period of 4.5 hours, how many more miles will the high-speed train travel than the regular train? Did you all know that distance equals rate times time? This is a rate and here's your time. So they want to know what's the difference, how many more miles will the high-speed train travel than the regular train. You're going to subtract the difference in the two. So you're going to take your rate of 150 miles per hour, multiply that by 4.5 hours, and subtract the same thing that for the high-speed train, 60 miles per hour times 4.5 hours. And you're going to find the difference, how many more miles the faster one goes than the slower one. Okay. All right, on the next one, number 8. The graph of the line y equals 1/3 x plus 3 is drawn on the coordinate grid below. Which table of ordered pairs contains only points on this line? Go through and pick out some points, like that one. Oh, let me make that bigger. Write down the ordered pair for that point. Write down the ordered pair for that point. Maybe that point, that point. You could go backwards. That point, that point, that point. See which one of these tables has those points in it. That's all you have to do. Number 9. On one like this, take your x value. Don't use 1. Use a number other than 1. Take your x value, plug it in right there, do the math, and see if that's what you get back for your answer. All right? If that doesn't work out, pick another one. Put that one in for x, multiply by 2, subtract 4. Do you get that back for an answer? If you do, try one more point and see if it still works. And on the last one, number 10. Omar and Allie love to play the game Prehistoric Monsters. They recorded the number of dinosaurs that must be defeated at each level in the table below. Omar claimed that he could use the rule 4n plus 3 to determine the number of dinosaurs at any level, n. Allie claimed that she could use the rule 3n plus 4. Who is correct? Justify your answer. Okay, each one of my levels is increasing by 1. The number of dinosaurs here is 7. Then we go to 10. Why is my pen so fat? Let me change that. 7, 10, that's 13, that's 5, 10, 15, that's 16. Once again, set yourself up a little table. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are your n's. Put in 7, 10, 13, 16. Do the whole thing where you find the change in your y's. Put that number right here. Multiply by your n's and add or subtract an adjustment. And then you'll figure out who's the winner. All right, good luck with that, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.